Good morning and welcome to a rather overcast day in the South Lakes and the new Suzuki Vitara. Now I say new, but to be honest, this has been around since about 2015. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's practical, it's quite fun, and it has a 1.4 BoosterJet engine with an electric motor. I'm Ben Quirk, welcome to Planet Auto, and a 6-speed manual. A staple on the road since the late 80s. To think this launched in 1988. I remember the first ones. My friend's mother used to have one, and it was in like a mauve colour. I think it was a 1.6 JLX. It was reliable. It was more off-roady then. Nowadays it's more of a, say, a compact crossover. But that's what the market dictated. The thing is, it's no less capable. It's just more practical, spacious. And with a 1.4 BoosterJet, it'll make you grin. I mean, that can really make a swift shift. Yes, you've got the extra size, so it's not quite as nippy. The thing is, that's not what Suzuki are heading for nowadays. Like every other manufacturer, they're going for economy. So now, it's mild hybrid. To start with, it was pure petrol. They also released a HEV with a 1.5, but that's now been retired, shall we say. As it's mild, it doesn't have a pure electric range. What it does have is an electric motor, a small battery, compact enough that it'll fit under a front seat. Also an ISG. The way the system works is it gives you a little more acceleration, assists with charging, also running some of the features in the car. It'll also regen a little bit too, so using braking and coasting, etc. It's not like a HEV, but it does something. All Vitaras now have a 1.4 BoosterJet. No 1.5s, no 1.6, they've all gone. Now it may be mild hybrid, but you can actually feel it when you're accelerating. Combine that with the turbo and it gives you a nice experience. It claims 0 to 6 in around 10 seconds. I reckon it's a touch over 9. But up to 30, it's considerably quicker. And it'll rev for England. People have raved about the Swift for years. And the fact that they've kept it in the Vitara for so many years is testament. So, you can go for a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed auto. Yes, the AMT has gone. These are definitely the better options. So you've got 6 variants to choose from. You get Motion. Now they're all 2-wheel drive, but you can choose from an auto or a manual. Then you've got the Ultra, and you can choose for a manual or an auto. Also all-wheel drive. And there's 3 levels of ALLGRIP. This has got what you call the mid-range. The Swift has like an automatic version. This has a twisty rotary. Then you've got the one on the Jimny, which is just raw. Saying that, this does have a diff lock. Not what you expect on a compact crossover. Mind you, it's Suzuki. They increased practicality. They changed the platform. But they still gave it the capabilities that it needed. For example, a snow mode. It ticks boxes. And even if you go for the Motion, it's fully spec'd. Proper safety systems, you get a reversing camera, rear parking sensors. Now if you go for the Ultra, well, you get a panoramic, 17-inch wheels and front parking sensors. Now I mentioned this platform's been used for around 10 to 11 years. But why would you change it when it offers everything that Suzuki need and also their customers do? It would just be stupid to get rid of it, especially when now you can get an e-Vitara, which is not related to this in the slightest. And we do have coming tomorrow. So watch out for that. I'll also do a quick comparison. Not that there'll be much to compare, but I'm looking forward to it regardless. Now, new Vitara starts at around £27,000 and tops out at £31,000. However, currently you can save £5,300 on any of them. That brings the Motion manual down to around £22,000. And even if you go for ours, which is all singing and dancing in the Ultra trim, finished in sphere blue and 2-tone with the black roof, this is only £27,000. If there's a time to buy a Vitara, it's now. Now, we've driven many gens for many years. And the one thing that you can be sure of is it's reliable. It's even more economical than it used to be as well. I mean, they weren't bad to start with. Suzuki claim around 53 mpg. Now, on an eco run, I think it'd be a fair bit higher than that. Generally, me bombing around, we're talking around 42 miles. Which I still don't think is bad for a family SUV. Now there are a few tweaks to this new facelift, shaping round the front, the grille and the lower bumper. From this angle, I think it looks like a micro Range Rover. But with Japanese technology and reliability, not a bad thing. Also on the inside, the infotainment system's changed and some of the shaping there. That's the thing with using a platform and a shape that essentially is 15 years old. It needs to keep up with the competition. It needs new tech. I mean, in 2022, that's when they introduced the hybrid powertrains. And the fact that they've now settled on the 1.4, well, I'm just over the moon. Because honestly, until you drive one, you won't quite know what I mean. It's such a fun little engine, but it's economical too. And the safety is the same across the board. Everything from the emergency braking through to mitigation, it ticks all the boxes. Even adaptive cruise control, auto headlamps, high beam assist, and a projector LED. And don't forget dual sensor brake support, which we first saw in the Ignis. If it detects that something's off, shall we say, it'll give you a little warning through the brake pedal by vibration, and then it'll get firmer, and then all of a sudden it will just use its mitigation and hit the brakes. It uses a LiDAR system. I mean, when we tested it, it was excellent. So the fact that it's in all the Vitaras is really good news. When it comes to servicing, if you keep this serviced the way that Suzuki intended, then its warranty will last for up to 10 years. That's like a Toyota business model. Clamshell bonnet, silver motif here, and cladding throughout. And it just gives it that off-roady look. But once again, it uses Suzuki ALLGRIP, so it's not just skin deep. Decent ride height and space in the arches. We already know that this is formidable off-road, far more than you give it credit for. This is as capable as S-Cross. I think this is the colour combo I'd choose as well. Power folding door mirrors, blind spot detection, and keyless entry. Also a keyhole. So even in frozen weather, you can get in. And they're colour coded. Lovely. Let's take a look inside. Door opens nice and wide, and that's a decent opening. Yes, hard plastics. That's the one thing that Vitara's always had. But you do get a padded armrest, and there's like a suede finish here. Lovely. Decent sized door pocket, and climbing in, I have to duck my head, but not quite as much as you might expect at my height of 6'3". Once in, yes, it's familiar. Retro styling with the vents, and as for this finish, you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. Leather wrapped steering wheel and a nice raised view of the road. And yes, you can tow. You can adjust your headlamp height here. Also, it's auto leveling, so it'd be interesting to see how that affects it. Traction control, you can turn collision detection off, and this here is where you apply descent control. You can turn off your stop start. I mean, the system doesn't work badly anyway. I just prefer that on, say, a launch from a roundabout just in case. You can also disable or enable your lane keep assist. And perfect for off-roading, you can disable your parking sensors. Little storage pot here. No, the layout, it's always been appealing with Vitara. You know exactly where you are with it. It's not too high, which means you don't feel restricted. And yes, it is solid plastics, but it's finished with decent grade. The light doors, relatively solid build quality. Solid. I like the shaping round here. The dual vents, and you've got a clock there. Yes, this is hard plastic, but it's finished well. There's a 12 volt here and a USB. There's just something that appeals about Vitara. Maybe it is its heritage and the history I experience. I don't know. There's just something dependable about it. Also, it's Japanese. Old school handbrake, yes. A must in my opinion for any off-roader. Yes, I know a lot have auto, but no, I still prefer this. You know exactly where you are with it. And a manual gearbox, 6-speed, and it's short, it's tight. Oh, it's very nice. Down here, you've got your rotary for your ALLGRIP, so snow to the left and sport to the right. And your rear diff lock. It's amazing how that transforms it when you're off-road. We experienced that firsthand in S-Cross. The way it wades through mud, it just trudges. There's no scrabbling. It seems to know exactly how to leverage the power. It's a very good system. You've got no problem in the winter months. It's perfect for a family SUV. They've also lightened up the interior with these side panels and also this surround here. Because that's the thing about today's SUVs. They're very dark. You don't get light colours with the odd exception. But with this grey stitching, it lightens it up enough. Manual seats. It's a fabric, primarily fabric. Comfortable, it's supportive, and they look rather nice with this pattern. And they're comfortable enough for a long haul. Infotainment, yes, not everybody's going to be a fan. Decent sized infotainment system, but it does have one lack. No rotary dial for the volume. so you do have to use this. I prefer to see one of those. Saying that, you can control the volume on the steering wheel. It's relatively responsive and it's easy to use. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a standard satellite navigation. You can see your economy in the centre as well. I do like its layout. It's not the fastest system we've used, but it does the job. You can also tweak some of the car's settings in here too. Great to see. You've got rotaries for your fans. I think it's that monitors you as well. Proper buttons too. Nice and straightforward to use with a little digital screen that shows you where your air's going, etc. Very simple. Front and rear demisters, and doesn't look like we've got heated seats. That's one thing I would like to see in Vitara. Now the mirrors don't fall when you lock it, but you do have a button to do it. Chunky stalks, nice and easy to use. A few buttons on the steering wheel, including your adaptive. Also your lane keep assist. Very straightforward cluster, and one of my favourites. Why? Because it's analog with digital. Rev counter on the left hand side and a speedo on the right. The little screen in the middle will show you things like your safety, your adaptive. It'll also give you road sign recognition, amongst other things. It's pretty well kitted out, especially for the price bracket. It's well laid out, lots of storage points. It's not floating, which is quite strange for today's world, but it doesn't need to be. And it's low enough that it doesn't impede on your space. It's just a good, honest vehicle. But it still has enough. Things like auto dimming mirrors, sunglasses holder, SOS button here, also the controls for your panoramic. 3-pedal system because it's a manual. Such a rarity in today's world. No, it's comfortable, it's easy to use, and yes, on the left hand side, we've got a nice footrest. And they do listen to feedback, which I presume is why the AMT has gone. Headroom, even with the panoramic, what's that, about an inch at my height? And is it on the floor? Yes, it is on the floor, but it will go a fair bit higher. And the fact that it's got height adjustment full stop is good. An armrest, yes, it's not wide enough for both of you, but it does the job for the driver, which is a priority really. Nice storage down here, and it looks like once upon a time there was a 12 volt. Not anymore though. And don't forget your cup holders, reach and rake in the steering wheel, and glove box. Whoa, check that for a bag. Decent size, but you do have this, everything you need. So it's up to 7 years warranty. No, 10. It's not over complex, which is really good, especially for the market. If you like this type of video, why not subscribe to the channel? You just hit the button on the right hand side. It's free and you'll get an alert every time we upload. Thank you. Something that's just enjoyable to drive. It won't break any records with the design and the styling. It's just simple and just climb in it and drive. And I think that's your lot. Take a look in the back. I almost forgot. Adjustable seat belts and rain sensing wipers. The one thing that appeals about Vitara is the fact that it's kept its shape. Yes, it may be freshened up every few years or so, but to have the existing platform and then keep it this cool looking is quite something. And even with this sloping roofline, it doesn't affect headroom in the rear. It just gives it a nice sporty look, especially with the appearance of a floating roof. Now, they're very smart. And what we've seen with Suzuki over the last few years is they give you more and more for the money. They're not really increasing the price of the vehicle, but they're giving you more. Front and rear discs, and it does stop as well as it goes. Now, I said it's got keyless entry. If you're using the fob, it will only release the front doors. Press it again to release the rear doors. Let's take a look in the back. The door opens to a nice angle. It might have been nice to see it open to, say, 90 degrees. Mind you, it doesn't hinder climbing in, even at my height. One thing you do notice is your leg does touch here if the seat's a little further back. Also, I do have to dip my head. Yeah, sunroofs tend to do this on smaller SUVs. Door cards finished the same way as the front. It does lighten it up with this, but it would have been nice to see a little more trim or something around here. And it's a very crude cut round here. Interesting. Just a nice little frame there. Decent cup holder and an electric window. I suppose the way you describe this door panel is cheap and cheerful. But Vitara have never really gone for anything elaborate in the back. The thing is, it's nice and solid. Sat like this, my hair is brushing. I can't get away from that. The only way to do it is to kind of get down in my seat. The bottom line is, this isn't really designed for my height, not in the back. The challenge is primarily with this. It does recess ever so slightly here, but because there's not enough lean back in the rear seat, I can't really experience it. I mean, this is doable. You're going to be carrying adults at my height. It's probably better to go with one that hasn't got a sunroof. Even though it is a fabulous thing, it lets a lot of light in. It's also got a blind. Seats, comfortable. Not the most buckety, but a nice squidge effect, but still firm. Legroom, ample. Now, because it's combustion and it's all-wheel drive, it's got a transmission tunnel. There's no getting away from that. Also, this is very sparse too. In future models, I'd love to see USBs and a little storage pot. Maybe even do one with tri-zone. One mat pocket on the passenger seat, and you've got a light on either side. That's nice to see. Even with the privacy glass, it's relatively light and airy. Vitara gets a fair few things right, but there's the odd thing it does fall short on, sadly. The thing is, that wouldn't stop me buying it, especially if you're a young family. It's got rear ISOFIX points and airbags. One thing I would really like to see moving forward, a pull-down armrest. No reclining seats, and they don't slide. That's the thing. If you had that slide and the recline, you could probably get this at a position that would allow for someone at my height to sit very comfortably. It's just a few tweaks and it'd be there. Another way to resolve it would be to drop this seat. Let's take a look at the rear. Nice and easy to climb out of, with a decent height. It's smart, it's sleek, and yes, it's the back of the Vitara. It's not really changed very much, but it doesn't really need to. LED lights, sporty rear spoiler, and a reversing camera, and parking sensors. And that's on both trims. And I do like this two-tone, glossy grey diffuser styly, fog, and the reversing lamp. We've also got a rear wiper, and it's not quite a bee sting, but it's not far off. There's also a rear cross-traffic alert. Let's take a look in the boot. So no power tailgate on either trim. The proper parcel shelf, very easy to remove, just little clips like this. The simplicity of the boot of the Vitara, it's refreshing. And look at this, the mega storage hidden. And these will come out. Quite easy to get the actual parcel shelf under the floor. Virtually non-existent boot lip, tethering points. They are plastic, so bear that in mind. And we've got a light on this side, as well as a 12 volt, ideal for a dash cam. 60/40 folding seats, and I presume under here we'll have extra storage and an inflation kit. Technically, you could get a spare wheel in there. This is a nice feature. It props open. Now the boot's not quite as big as the S-Cross, but to be honest, it'd be quite nice for a family holiday. You'll easily get 2 to 3 large suitcases in there and a shed load of food, probably 2 to 3 months worth. You could even eke it out more so by taking out the floor and just leaving it like that. Okay, removing the parcel shelf, push up. Simple, love it. And then just pull out. I can drop the seats from the boot or the back seat. Just pull this in. It doesn't lay entirely flat, but it's pretty close. Slight gap here, but nothing to really write home about. Space-wise, we'll judge for yourself. In my eyes, I'd probably get my electric mountain bike in here, but I would have to remove both wheels. Possibly it'd fit in with the back. Ideal for heading to uni, tip runs, all manner of things. No, spacious, practical, like it. Now I know that everybody's not familiar with hybrid systems. As I mentioned, this is mild hybrid, and that means you don't have to charge it. The car deals with everything itself. Let's have a look under the bonnet. An important one. You release the petrol cap by pulling this lever here. To release the bonnet, this feels a bit like an old school choke. You just pull it towards, and it pops. People are probably saying, what's a choke? Yes, my first car had a choke. No struts. It's not the heaviest either, so that's nice. Looks about right. Interesting, no arrow. The BoosterJet Mighty 1.4 turbo with the hybrid system. A 50 PS electric motor, putting out around 130 brake horsepower. I think it's closer to 127, but we're not going to argue about 3 horses. Nice and easy to see where to top up fluids, and a decent engine to work on. Nice and spacious. One of my favourite engines, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. When you put it in a Swift, wow, yeah, it can really perform. But in this, it's not so bad either, considering the size of it. Let's see how it drives. no scrabble. That you just love a Vitara. No nonsense. This is one we always look forward to. So without further ado, welcome behind the wheel. Out of all the engines I've driven with, this remains in the top 5. It's not big, it's not mega powerful, but my word, can it make an SUV and a Swift shift? And now with an electric motor, well, it makes all the difference. So this is mild hybrid, and under the bonnet we've got a 4-cylinder 1.4 BoosterJet, meaning it's turbocharged. Slight bit of lag, and then all of a sudden it kicks. Now, we've driven many a Vitara, and to be honest, they just get better and better. Yes, there was this short stint when we were using things like 1.5 AMTs. Now, the 1.5 was out of the chimney, so yes, it's not the most refined engine. Whereas this, well, it's been a staple for Suzuki for many years. It's economical, just a nice all-round engine. Decent power through the gears, especially when you couple it to a 6-speed manual. The thing is, you don't have to go for that. You go for a 6-speed, proper auto. Slight bit of lag, and then we're off. Even in the rain, it just grips for England. Good brakes. It's a nice BMW i4. Ah, the national speed limit sign. No, it's fun. It'll put a grin on your face. It corners relatively well considering its height. Little to no body roll, which you don't expect. The Merc's, well, far worse, isn't it, Annabelle?
Yeah.
This, you can kind of just throw around bends. It's a torquey little beast. You even get a slight bit of flex as well. So it's got an element of chuck. These may be sold primarily for the road, but they're rather capable off-road, aren't they? That's the thing, Suzuki have been doing this for 55 years plus, haven't they, with off-road systems, so...
Their ALLGRIP is fantastic.
Yeah, and there's 3 levels of it. And this is kind of the mid-range, so you've got your winter mode covered. So snow to the left and sport to the right. And even if you're in the wrong gear, because you've got an electric motor and a turbo, 9 times out of 10 you won't have to shift down, unless you want to do this. No, it's a decent sized SUV, so it's not too lumbery either. Suspension, firm and dependable, I'll say. When you hit these crap bits of road, you just feel a slight warmth. Nothing to really, you know, there's no rattles, there's no mega bangs or anything. As for the ride itself, it cushions well. Mind you, it has to, in case it goes off-road. It's like the perfect compromise.
I was about to say, it's like the sweet spot, isn't it?
It is. The thing about driving a Suzuki, especially in the UK, in the winter, you know it's dependable.
Well, they just keep going, don't they?
They do, yeah.
And you know it's always going to get you from A to B and back again.
And it'll rev
Climbing
well
it can
past
shift.
5.
Sorry, I just interrupted you there, but climbing it can shift.
It can. Oh yeah, joining motorways, you've got absolutely no challenges. It's a lot quicker than you give it credit for, and it has transformed it, adding that electric motor. As for water, yes, high air intake on this, so as long as you're not driving through a lake, you're all good.
It's steamed up because of the weather, but look how quickly it's clearing it.
You're right, it does clear the windscreen rather quickly. Lots of safety on this, and it doesn't matter which trim you buy. We've got cruise control here, then you've got next adaptive. Lane keep assist, lane departure warning, AEB, pretty much a whole safety suite that's well, it's just a perfect overwatch. Road sign recognition, etc. The box, perfection, lovely short shift, nice and strong. None of that through the gears, it just smoothly shifts. And you feel the electric motor immediately. No. It pulls for fun, and they're few and far between nowadays. Cornering, nice. Hills just aren't a problem for it. Its powertrain was awesome.
Yeah, that was effortless, wasn't it? Oh, yeah.
And there's power still there. It keeps wanting to go.
You know what you're going to get with a Suzuki?
Yeah, you do. And the fact that they've extended the warranties up to 10 years if you keep them well serviced. You know, they've got a lot of belief in there.
Exactly, yeah.
Lights, good. LED projector lamps across the full range now.
Right, so they stop us whenever they go, really.
Yeah, well, coming down here, it's quite steep, isn't it? I mean, look at that. Hardly any movement with the cornering. Nice noise from the engine too.
Hang on the left.
And it will spin if you floor it out of a box. If you floor it out of a junction.
Not what you meant to say, I'm sure.
The thing that stands out about this is, even when you're travelling along at 25, 30 miles an hour, you can quite easily be in third or fourth, maybe even fifth. And even if you put your foot down at that speed, it will accelerate. Yes, it's not lightning.
But you've still got more power there to go.
Exactly.
If you need to.
It's not a lethargic lump.
Plenty more power.
Yeah. Look at these. It's just dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. You know, Mercedes, we have to slow down so much. But things like this, I mean, many more roads are like this, aren't they? They're moth-beaten, bitten, eaten, whatever the term is. And they're all undulating and just bad. So something like this, it may not have suspension like a BMW, but it's a nice. I was going to say it suits multiple functions. Let's say that, and its practicality is good too. And considering these are currently, for a motion, just under £22,000. That's crazy value. I mean, we're saving what, £5,300 per model? So if you want to buy a Vitara, now's the time. I'm going to keep saying that because honestly, you can't beat this with that £5,000 off. It's honestly, it's blown me away that they can knock that much off, especially the base trim. Slight movement in the chassis then, but that was a heck of a pothole and there's no way I'm going to hit it. Thing is, it will gobble it up regardless. But it's not my car. Now, isn't that just Thomas the Tank Engine? Whoop whoop. That's
so
about
cute.
That's about as naggy as it gets in here. Yes, its nagometer is pretty good. I could put up with whoop whoop. So there you have it. The facelift Vitara. It'll be interesting to see what happens to Vitara moving forward. I likely think they'll keep it until they have to stop making it. Whether it'll be on the new chassis, we'll have to wait and see. It depends on what kind of an impact e-Vitara makes. And on that note, we've got one of those coming today. So watch out for that. One quick launch and we'll say goodbye. And on that note, bye-bye. Thanks for watching.